Okay, let's get right into this because I have a feeling this one is going to hit home for a lot of people. We're going to talk about the M-shaped mind and why all those hobbies you keep starting and stopping aren't a weakness. They're actually your biggest strength. Yeah, does this slide look a little familiar? You know, that corner of your room, the one with all the half-finished projects, that little voice in your head that says you start everything but finish nothing? If any of that sounds like you, then stick around. This is for you. So first things first, let's just tear down the story we tell ourselves. Let's talk about the quitter myth. You know, that feeling, right? That heavy sense that you're just unfocused, that your interests are all over the place. We start to label ourselves, calling ourselves scattered, or even worse, a quitter. But what if that whole story is just completely wrong? I mean, this is the advice we've all heard a million times. It's the gospel of success, right? Pick one thing, go deep, become the expert. It's a very straightforward, very compelling story. But here's the thing, it's not the only story. And that brings us to a totally different way of looking at things, a new framework for how we learn and grow. Let's talk about what it means to have an M-shaped mind. Okay, get this, because this is the single most important idea we're going to talk about. It's a huge reframe. You are not quitting things. Every time you dive into something new, a skill, a book, a hobby, you are gathering data. You're collecting tools for your mental toolbox. And this is what all that data gathering builds, an M-shaped mind. So instead of one single deep area of expertise, you're actually building several. Just picture the letter M. It has multiple deep points, multiple pillars, all connected by this broad base of knowledge. This slide really breaks down the difference. We're all familiar with a T-shaped person, right? They go super deep in one area and have some broad knowledge up top. But the M-shaped person, they develop depth in multiple areas. And the real magic happens when they start building bridges between those deep areas. It doesn't lead to a predictable career. No, it leads to one that's incredibly adaptable and innovative. So you might be wondering, how does this actually work? What's the secret mechanism that makes having all these different interests so powerful? Well, it all comes down to connecting distant dots. The secret weapon of the M-shaped mind is this amazing thing called far transfer. It's basically this cognitive superpower that lets you see a pattern in one area, like music composition, and apply it to solve a totally unrelated problem in, say, business strategy. It's a skill that specialists just don't get to flex very often. And here's where you can really see it in action. Near transfer. That's the specialist's game. You learn one coding language and then apply that logic to a similar one. It's useful for sure, but it's limited. Far transfer is where real innovation is born. It's taking the ideas of rhythm and flow from music and using them to build a killer business presentation. You're literally connecting different worlds. So when you put all this together, it builds what is maybe one of the most important skills you can have today. Let's call it what it is, your adaptability superpower. You see, that collection of hobbies you thought was just chaos? It's not. It's strategic adaptability. In engineering, redundancy is a good thing. It means you have backup systems. In your mind, your different interests are your backup systems. They give you more than one way to see a problem and a whole arsenal of toolkits to solve it. And this is what that strategy gives you. You become incredibly resilient. When one industry gets disrupted, you have other pillars to stand on. You're the only person standing at the unique intersection of your specific interests, which means you can see connections that nobody else can. You're not just preparing for the future, you're building a mind that is perfectly designed for it. So look, the big idea here isn't just about feeling a little less guilty, it's about fundamentally changing how you see yourself. It's time to embrace your design. So let's just get this straight once and for all. It's time to throw out that old script. You are not scattered. That's not what's happening here. You are a collector of mental models. You are a seeker of patterns. You are a data gatherer. And every single time you follow a new curiosity, you're adding another brick to the architecture of a mind that is creative, robust, and ready for whatever the world throws at it. So I'll just leave you with this one question to chew on. Look at that guitar, those books, that sudden urge to bake. Now that you see them not as failures, but as data points, what incredible hidden connections are just sitting there in your chaos, waiting for you to find them? Subscribe and follow more.